Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, if you saw my last video, which you should be watching about right now, it just got released on my other channel, Joshua Thompson, Take Off the Rants. And that one's mostly about financial stuff, how the economy works, macro. It's stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else if you're only a subscriber to this channel. Because most people are going to tell you the dollar's going to zero, buy gold and silver, it's the only thing that's going to protect you. And these same people on these other preparedness channels, they don't even know how the dollar works. So I go into extreme detail on my other channel. If you guys want to check that out, again, it's just Joshua Thompson, Take Off the Rants. And you would also know I just got back from the gym, so I'm a little swampy right now. In today's video, I have more of a user-based approach because I've got some comments that I think are going to be helpful for you guys that people have sent me and commented on YouTube videos. So I'm going to bring those to you. And for the topic of the video, we can just go over maybe a couple of charts super quick. So the first chart is going to bring something to your guys' attention that you need to be aware of. Of course, everyone's heard of the hurricane off the East Coast here. It's going to be swinging up. It poses no real threat unless for some reason it decides to change course in the next couple of days. Now, we have another potential threat within 10 days coming up into the Gulf of Mexico. The last model said that it was going to hit, so this is going to be on the 30th. It should make landfall. The last model had it curving off this way over towards Savannah, the Alma region, Douglas, that area. This model is saying it's going to hit somewhere around Pensacola, maybe what's over there, Fort Walton, maybe Panama City. But the newest model, let me see if it may not be all the way loaded yet. Yeah, I got it here. The newest model actually has it swinging closer to the Pensacola and Mobile area if you're from there. Next chart, something for you to be aware of. All right, going over to Letraverse. Monte Rosa, Italy logs earliest sub -20°C, -4 degrees Fahrenheit ever. UK sees rare September snow. Brisbane's coldest winter on record. Polar cold not done with Australia just yet. Rapidly growing sunspot. That's the sunspot that we talked about in yesterday's video. Let's pull it up here. Give it a second to load. All right, you should see it coming in the limb over here. See that ejection release right there? Nothing to be worried though. It was minor. No big deal. All right, this is starting to gain some traction here. This one's got a lot of activity on it. This is the one that most people are worried about over there on the left limb because it's extremely active and it's coming in to be Earth facing. So I know that there are a lot of other prepper channels out there that talk about a lot of stuff. I'm trying to be nice here because there's a lot of channels out there. I'm not going to name them, but they constantly say like the same stuff over and over again. Obviously, you should get prepared. Obviously, you should get ready. But they're like rehashing on the same stuff from 3 or 4 videos over and over again. They're just saying it in different ways. Now, if you like watching that stuff, to each is their own, right? If you just like to hear that particular person speak, hey, then that's for you. That's the content for you. But, I mean, it's a really easy way to make a living, you know, from YouTube income and stuff. But I don't like doing that. So here's the thing. I do have things that I'm paying attention to that are on the periphery. And you've probably already heard that information and all that stuff from all the other prepper channels out there that put out like 50 videos a day. So I'm not going to waste your time being like the 15th person you've heard today say the same thing over and over again. So there's 2 main things that I am paying attention to right now. The first is that Putin was supposed to come out today with some emergency last-minute meeting and say something to the world. There's a whole lot of speculation into what that might be. Apparently that was delayed, so we're still waiting on that. It's nighttime over there, so maybe in the morning, maybe, I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. The second is the Federal Reserve should be hiking interest rates tomorrow. Now, everybody's expecting there to be a 75 basis point hike, but there could be a 100 basis point hike. Who knows? I don't know. But I can show you on a chart why it should be more. So let's get to that. All right, so this is from my last video. So let me just quickly go to the 2-year. I can't spell, mama. All right, U.S. 2-year. So here's the 2-year interest rate. Let me take the dial off. Oh wait, no, that's it. That's not what I thought. Sorry. Okay, now this is 2-year interest rates. You can see they bottomed out here after the crash in 2020. They stayed near zero, and the 2-year is going on a tear. The 2-year is actually higher than the 10-year. So you can see it here. The 2-year is at 3.98. The 10-year, which was the last indicator I had on, is about at 3.6, 3.5. That means we have an inverted yield curve, but you can get all that information from my other channel, federal funds rate, right here. Now, if you zoom in, you can see the Fed does not control interest rates. Shocker. They follow interest rates. When the 2-year started going up, the Fed had to follow at some point to look like they were in control. Now the 2-year is going on a tear. So they're saying that we should get a 75 basis point hike from the Fed, which is most likely going to happen. But it might be 100 basis points, a little bit higher. And if that happens, look out, Dorothy. We going down. Now, of course, you can get all that information from my other channel. But that's the two main things that I'm watching right now. Now, on the periphery, some things, the Sunspot, right? Because there was that article that was predicting it was going to be in a couple days. I believe the 22nd, but it might be the 25th. I'll have to find that article. But it's still been on my mind this whole time, so I'm tracking that. I'm keeping my eyes on the railroads, but that's nothing's supposed to happen with that until the 29th. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I got a couple of comments here I want to read for you guys, and then I got some questions, and then we'll wrap up here and get you on about your way. I work for the railroad. Many machine parts are quoted anywhere between 5 and 9 months for shipment, some longer. Lots of hydraulic parts are back ordered and or unavailable. It's becoming a problem because we have now used our stockpile of spare parts. Because of rising costs, we are only ordering the part we need at the time. No extra for spares. Side note, this winter we could not get oil for about a month. Something about a few additives that were unavailable. That stopped a lot of our machine rebuilds because used oil is better than no oil in an engine. So, this is just something you've probably heard from all across the internet about all these shortages. And I can tell you right now, because like I said in many times on my other channel, I work in transportation. I've seen this. We had one of our company trucks go down, and it was supposed to be down for 2 weeks. It ended up being down for 3 months before all the parts got in. And then once it got fixed, of course, something else was wrong, so that had to be taken care of too. This is happening all over the place. I remember last year there was some lubricant company up in Illinois that burned down mysteriously, just like all the other food plants that are burning down mysteriously. Kind of makes you wonder. I work for an electric utility, transformers in limited supply, and currently have a wait time around a year. If we were to have a large CME like the 1800s, I think it might take decades to rebuild our existing electrical distribution, transmission, and substation networks. I was actually already aware of this because I was I'm in transportation. I know what's being moved and I know what's not being moved. And a lot of these big transformers are so heavy, you have to have very specialized equipment to move them around the country. My aunt is very, very, very high up at our local electric company, and I actually asked her about this because I was seeing shortages of transformers and other electrical equipment popping up. As it turns out, unless you're in an area like us, because we live on the coast down here in the Gulf, so we're in Hurricane Alley. Our power company always has a ton of backups. Now she did say if we got hit by several big hurricanes back to back that we'd be in trouble, but if we just got hit by one this year, we'd be okay. But that's not the case for the rest of the country. Around the rest of the country, they don't have a whole lot of backups. And now they can't even get them if they ordered. They're out for months and months and months. So again, this is just another thing, guys. Get ready. Let's see. Question. Could it be that big U.S. energy companies shorted the market and lost $1.5 trillion, and now they want to replace Russian oil by American expensive oil to make the European citizens pay for their losses? That's what I heard anyway. No, that's all predicated upon Russia shutting off the oil supplies to Germany because they're trying to force Germany to back out of all its commitments to NATO. I mean, that's pretty clear. I mean, you can see that for face value for what it is. There's nobody in the U.S. that flew over to Russia and turned the Russians' oil off. I mean, maybe there is. You know, maybe there's somebody that's running code. You know, I'm never gonna close myself down to a possibility. Like I always talk about, that shelf of possible things that could happen or might have happened. Is it possible that there's somebody in America that's in cohorts with Russians to get them to shut the oil off, to charge the Europeans extra money so they can make... That's possible. But on face value, if you just look at it, it's like, no, the Russians are just trying to force the Germans to back out of their NATO commitments. Question, did you hear that in Germany the military is going to patrol the streets day and night starting in October? Okay, this is something I've heard, and I've heard some other really big channels on YouTube that are putting this information out there. I did a whole lot of really deep research on this, and I could not find one reliable source reporting this. I found one source that is kind of like a tabloid that said this was going to be happening. It said they were going to be enforcing mandates. So I don't know. At face value, I want to tell you that this is not going to be occurring because I just can't find this information anywhere. But again, your shelf of things that might happen, have it in the background and just have yourself ready for that potentiality. I don't think it's going to happen, but again, that it could. And that's the whole basic premise of this channel, guys. It's that don't blow anyone off that has a theory. Don't blow off any of their theories. If you're doing that, you're going to lose. And you're going to lose the most important game, and that's life, right? When I was in the military intel, we always had red team, blue team. If you only acted off of what the information that the red team had gathered, you're going to lose. You got to have both sides. So you got to listen to the smart person, you got to listen to the schizophrenic crazy person, and listen to the average person in the middle. Conglomerate their information and come up with an idea of what might happen. And if what you think is going to happen doesn't happen, and it starts to lean towards what the crazy person said, they might be right, right? So just keep that in mind. Make sure you stock up if you can't afford to prep, when you go to the store, just grab a couple extra cans of Spam, a couple extra cans of tuna, a couple extra cans of corn. I'm telling you, soon enough, that stuff's not going to be there, or it'll be a very limited supply. We're going to have mass layoffs within 3 to 6 months. This is going to happen. It is unavoidable. The stock market will crash. It may go up before we get to the bottom, but we will get there. Okay? Check out my other channel if you want more financial information. I love each and every one of you. I shall see you in the next video.